What's going on, everybody? Y'all know who this is. Your boy, Don from Images by Lyrics, aka your favorite photographer. And today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about inspiring models. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to maybe start working with photographers, potential clients, and some brands. All right, so let's get right on into it. Let's talk about pricing. You, as the model dealing with photographers like myself, if you charge a certain amount, be clear about the pricing and for how long. Be clear, because as a photographer, if you tell me you charge this amount, I am going to go with what you say, and that's what we're going to work with. But if you come to the studio and I pay you this amount for a session, and then I want to do 2 and 3 different outfits, you say, oh, well, that's not being clear about your price. You have to have a certain price for what you're going to do. That's the reason why you're supposed to have that common ground with the photographer, also with the model, so you can figure out what I'm going to pay and what I'm going to get. Okay. Just be clear right up front, because the photographers, if they professional, they're going to be clear about what they trying to do right up front. So just be clear about the price. And if you don't have a set price, just let the photographer know, hey, I don't really have a set price, but I am looking to get paid for my work. And you also got to understand is that the photographer may be charging his own price. So if his price is higher than your price and you want to work with that photographer, then that's when y'all need to come to a common ground on the price. Meet in the middle. If his price is 200, your price was 100, see if y'all can come together and do something, for $75, $50, something. If you have a certain price and he tell you his certain price, but you want to work with him, you have to try to figure a compromise between the two. Just remember that. Okay. So this one may be a little bit controversial. It all depends on how you take it. So I advise you, as the model, male or female, to be honest about the photographer's work. There's nothing worse than the model telling the photographer, ooh, I like that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. But in the back of your head, you're like, oh, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, that's a piece of crap. Be honest with the work right up front, because if you talk to the photographer and say, hey, I don't think I like that pose right there. Let's try this pose, or let's try another pose. It's okay, but I know I can do better. Okay. If you talk to a photographer, male or female, like that, they will respect you more and they will want to work more with you. So yes, the photographer's name is going to be on the pictures or on the product. Your face is going to be shown. You two want to come to a common ground. So that's why you have to be honest about the work. If it don't look good, it don't look good. Hey, can we try a different pose? I don't really like that one right there because of how I was looking. The light look a little bit too bright. How would it look if we tone it down a little bit? Be honest. It'll help out a whole lot. Okay. TFP, trade for prints or trade for pictures. 2023, 2024, I'm going to say TFD, trade for digitals. I do those sometimes, and I know a lot of photographers, they'll do them sometimes. Some of the newer photographers would do them when they first start, to get their name out there. And the older photographers, honestly, they just do it for fun because it may be something that they want to do, a certain type of look that they want to do, and they look for one model or two that can pull those looks off. So yes, just know that TFP, TFD, trade for pictures, trade for digitals, is a free service. All right, it's a free service, an agreement between the model and the photographer. Now, I have contracts that would state I'll give so many pictures on a TFP, and if you want any more, it'll be this price. And that's just how my contract goes. And I'm quite sure a lot of other photographers do the exact same thing, but a TFP is a TFP. Pretty much, it's a free photo shoot. It's a free photo shoot. All the model have to do is bring their clothing and their looks, and the photographer do everything else. And believe me, the photographer work is never done. Even after the shoot, we still have to go into the studio or the office and edit those photos to our liking, to make sure that you look good, on top of you already looking good when you come into the studio. That's being prepared. Okay, so just know that you need to talk to the photographer, look over their contract, and get a clear understanding of what you're getting into when it's a TFP or a TFD. Okay, last minute cancellations. We know stuff happens. We're human. Things happen all the time. Last minute cancellations, that's one of those things where it's a gray line, okay? Because things come up, things happen. We're human. But if it's a last minute cancellation and it's legit, please make it legit. But don't wait till the last minute and then decide to cancel just because you don't feel like it anymore, or just because you don't want to drive, or just because the studio is a certain distance, or you was waiting on, I don't know, something to come and it didn't come. Alternate with whatever you can alternate with. Talk to the photographer, try to make it work. Being prepared. Before you hook up with any photographer or any company and you are the model, basically that's your job. You want to be prepared before you even come. You know, make sure you have your outfit ready or outfits ready, your hair done, your nails done, your makeup done. All these things are essential for the model to take care of, especially when it's not written in a contract on who's going to do what. Some companies might have their own hairdresser or their own makeup artist. And that's when, you know, the situations change. Then you may have an opportunity to work with somebody else. If not, you need to be prepared. Shoes, clothes, hair, whatever. Even if you wanted some props that you wanted to bring along, you have to be prepared before you walk into one studio and potentially waste their time. That's the worst thing you can do. Well, that's one of the worst things that you can do when you're working with a photographer or a company. Okay, let's talk about reference boards. Have a reference board. What I mean by that is have some ideas on what you want to do before you even get to the studio. Go online, you can search online, download some pictures. You can go to Pinterest. I believe there's another app called Caver. I probably butchered that, but you can go pretty much anywhere and find a reference board. You can look outside and take pictures outside. You can randomly find pictures on the web, but download a few looks that you really want to do and communicate that with the photographer or the company that you're working for so they can know exactly what you want to do. Most of the time, a photographer is going to have their own reference board, their own looks. They want to shoot a specific type of look, so they're going to have a reference board already and send that to you so you can know exactly what type of situation you're getting yourself into. Always have a reference board, no matter what. Like I said, the photographers are already going to have it, depending on who you're working with. If you're out in the field, they might not have a certain type of look and just say, hey, let's just wing it. Bring two of your best outfits and we're going to go from there. A lot of times in the studio, a lot of photographers are going to already have their mood boards / reference boards that they already want to work with. So just keep that in mind for your next shoot. Okay, let's talk about no call, no shows. It's just like a real business because photography is a real business. You don't want to talk to a photographer or a company and say, hey, we're going to do it. Let's do it. No problem. I can make it. But then the day of, you no call, no show. That's just like if you was on a regular job, no call, no show, they'll suspend you or you get rolled up. And I believe 3 of those and you out of there. Some of them, if you no call, no show, you out there on the first go. So no call, no shows for models to a photographer, that's pretty much disrespect because y'all talked about what y'all was going to do together. And yes, people have things to do. So you probably want to go ahead and keep that, or at least call and say, hey, I can't make it. Something major just came up, but be honest about it. Because when something major really do come up, you might not even get the word that something's going on. And now you're thinking, oh my God, I have to do better. So let's just do better. Let's talk about education. You want to educate yourself on modeling and some photography. As a model, you want to know exactly what type of model you want to be. There's all type of models, genres out here today that you want to study. So if you have to go to Pinterest, YouTube, or just Google, however you want to do it, get some kind of knowledge so that you can have that under your belt. You might want to be a fashion model. You might want to be a runway model. You might want to be a portrait model or even headshot model. But you have to know exactly what you want to be when you work with a photographer and a brand. Okay? Educate yourself all the time. So once again, this is your boy, Don from Images by Lyrics, aka your favorite photographer. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think and what I could have added, and maybe I'll add it on the next video. So holla until the next time. Peace.